Hello, everyone. I'm Mark,
And I'm Rob.
and today we're going to talk about whether or not the comparison with Tiger Woods and Caitlin Clark is a valid comparison.
Mhm.
Welcome to Mark and Rob's Sports Showdown. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why haven't you? Please hit that notification bell when you do. Rob, so a lot of people have made this comparison. Um, Tiger Woods came into the golf world, and everyone knows it was a very, very white world. It was way more white than I think the WNBA is black, because the WNBA black is only like 70% or so, although
Right.
white is only like 19%. The rest is Hispanic and other races.
Mhm.
But it was extremely white. There was one famous black golfer who was very successful, Lee Elder, but other than that, that's it. And he came along, and not only was successful, he was the best, and maybe the best of all time. And not only was he really good, he also generated a lot of publicity because of the way he played. People thought he was an exciting golfer, which is, to me, golf's not very exciting. So
I know.
exciting
It's like,
golfer is like, what's that? I'd never heard of that.
exactly.
But anyways, he played at another level, and so I don't know. I didn't follow golf that closely, or even Tiger Woods. I didn't watch him play that much because I think golf is extremely boring to watch. So I read up on it, and one person made a summary of what they thought took place, and we'll see whether or not that is accurate or not. I'll let you decide that. But he said that at first, other players resented all the publicity he was getting,
Hmm.
and then they saw how good he was and how much money they were making because of the fact that he drew so much attention to the sport. And after that, they stopped resenting him less after a few years. Did you think that was a fair summary for the times that took place with Tiger Woods in
Well,
terms of
most
you know?
definitely. Most definitely. I would only watch golf maybe once in a while to see Arnold Palmer or Jack Nicklaus, but besides that, I would not turn on golf until Tiger Woods hit the scene. I was totally. That's the only time I watched golf. If he wasn't playing, I wouldn't watch golf. But I watched golf because he kind of changed it. He could hit the ball further than most of the other golfers, and in his mid range game and his putting game was really hot. And so yeah, I watched it because he was black, even though he's mixed with Thai, but still here's this black player coming on the scene to a predominantly white game. So that was kind of neat to see.
Yeah, it turns out he's only 25% black, but he looks black, so that's really all that mattered to society, I think. But Rob, I think that with Caitlin Clark, it's a little different though, because we have in both cases we have a white society. So we have a black individual going into a white dominated sport in a white society. With Caitlin Clark, we have still have a white society, but we have a white going into predominantly black sport. So I think it's slightly different,
Hmm.
because in this case, the minority is the majority in basketball, and in golf, the the majority was also the majority in society.
Right, right,
So
exactly,
so it was different.
right.
So what do you think about the comparison though, in terms of the two of them?
Well,
Given the
with
difference.
Clark, with Clark, it's kind of the comparison's kind of it's where, yeah, she's coming in, though the sport is predominantly black, and she's just one white athlete. And unfortunately, she's being thrust out into the public, and she's getting more notoriety than the other players. And the only difference is that, unfortunately, the the women players aren't getting it. They don't get it. She's going to help them along the way to promote their league and give them more money. She's already done that already with the charter planes. So she's going to help them, but they're not realizing that. They're still stuck in their jealousy and bitterness towards her because of who she is. And instead of like, hey, she's helping out the game. They're watching more games, and that means I get on TV too. So they don't get it.
I agree, Rob. But and the thing is that it's hard to compare, because the microscope right now is much greater because of social media and cable and things of that nature. So back then there was, publicity and stuff like that. There was some cable and stuff, but there wasn't nearly as much coverage as there is now. And so it's kind of hard to compare the two. But from what I remember, there wasn't this big uproar when he came in. There was just some, and it was kind of like, under the surface type of things. Like the golfers would probably keep it most to themselves, except for Fuzzy Zoeller, who said the fried chicken comment.
Yeah.
But here we've got it very public and very aware, and they, we don't know if they're going to get it eventually, but there's more resentment now than with Tiger is my point. But there's
carrying. I'm sorry, Mark, and it's carrying over, not just into, it's carrying. Unlike with Tiger, he got to be on the U.S. Ryder Cup team, but with Caitlin Clark, they won't even let her on the Olympic team. So
yeah,
it's like,
he got put on the Ryder team every year. So
yeah.
if he wanted to, and I think that if they look at what happened with Tiger Woods, they should wise up. But I'm not even sure they need that example to wise up. No. They can see, regardless of what happened with Tiger, where he made everyone else more money, they can see that they're going to make more money if the league gets more successful. So I'm not sure why it's like you can't get through their thick skulls, but they're determined to try to hinder her development and her popularity as much as they can, because they're jealous of the publicity she's getting.
They're all caught up in that. Hey, what about me? Look at me. No, and okay, well, we're looking at you because of Caitlin Clark. Otherwise, I wouldn't be tuning into any games. So just put that into your mind. But it's almost like I said, the last game, the Minnesota Lynx won this mid-season championship, and the coach is like, "Oh, we here too. Look at us." Okay, right. Yeah, we see you, but I mean, calm down. It's okay. We see you,
Rob. Now, so I mentioned the one difference was that whites are the majority in this society, so it's a different scenario. But there's another difference is now we're dealing with females instead of males. Do you think that has any bearing on how they've handled Caitlin Clark coming into the league, as opposed to how the men handled Tiger Woods coming into golf and dominating it? And totally, I'm not saying Caitlin Clark's dominating yet, but she's getting the publicity.
No, it's totally. It's not a business. It's not a business mind. Unfortunately, the female type is not dealing with. It's a business mind. This is a business. It's a game, but it's also a business. And if you want someone to watch you, or if you want to have someone notice you, and if you want to make more money, you got to follow what the business is. And so if someone is doing well and then promoting it, and arenas are being sold out and the TV watchship is up, why not look at that and say, hey, that's kind of neat? But they don't do that. They don't support. They claim to support each other. Yeah, girl, you go, girl. Yeah, but in the back, they're like, yeah, who she thinks she is? I mean, that's that's just how they are. Unfortunately, that's how they are.
Well, Rob, I mean, women have. When people say caddy, it's always about women. So, and I read a lot of comments, and the comments I read are by women that say, I'm a woman, and this is common for women, that other women like to tear other successful women down, and they get jealous more easily than men do, and they get catty about it. And it's hard for a guy to say that without being accused of being sexist. But I'm just telling you that women say that exists. So I just think we should consider that as a possibility, that this is a different situation because women are a little bit more like that than men. I don't know if it's true. I'm telling you what women say.
No, I know it's. I've had my wife's told me that. I've had women friends. I've coached women's basketball. They say that. I see it. It's a total different. It's a more emotional than sometimes illogical. It's a more emotional concept from them. So it's not a sexist thing. Like you said, I have 3 sisters. I've been around women most of my life, and it is. It's there. Unlike with men, I mean, I might like this person, I might not like them, but I'm not going to be catty about it. I'll think about it like the NBA with Bird coming in. You didn't see that when Bird came into the league and he got popular, or most white players that came into the NBA. There's nothing like that. Not even close.
I get the impression men don't try to tear him down as much. They're just as jealous. They just don't try to tear him down. They go out and try to beat him and try to compete with him, and maybe work harder at their game, and which is what the women should do. If Caitlin Clark is not, she's not the most dominant player in the league, obviously, but she gets the most publicity. But sometimes she may be the most dominant and player in the league. She may be the best player in the league in 3 or 4 years. And if they want to get publicity too, guess what? Improve your game and go along with the ride with her. And then you could have a nice little one-on-one thing, So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's just my take on that. I think it's a fair comparison, but I don't think it's an identical comparison because I showed you 2 major differences.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what happens in the future and whether they wise up and see that they'll make more money if Caitlin Clark has some success or continues to be popular and the league becomes popular. Everybody's gonna eat, as they say.
Yep, exactly.
So, anyways, that's our take for today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell when you do. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And we got a live show Eastern time, 7 to 8 on Mondays, except for major holidays. And feel free to make intelligent, non-insulting comments. I'd really like to hear what you think about this. Women especially. I would like to hear what women have to say. Is it fair to say that women are a little bit more catty, a little bit more jealous, and are more likely to tear a successful woman down than a man would do that? I don't know. I don't know if it's fair or not. I'm saying if women tell me that, maybe there's something to it. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So I'm trying to be fair about it, but not ignore some signs that tell me that might be true.
Right.
That's fair. I
All
guess
right.
I'm trying to be objective.
Peace
Anyways,
out.
until the next video.